Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 38th favorite dad in the family community, Papa West, Jacob West, here for another exciting episode of TMG Takes the Field, our weekly show where we talk about sports. My wonderful wife, Kayla, is right beside me because she wants to sit close to me. She's popping in again. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for sitting close to me.
Absolutely.
Obviously, this is the show where we talk about sports, mainly football, but this week we're going to do something a little bit different. Talking about normality, not even a word, but I'm going to use it, about sitting with Shaq. We're going to open it up to more sports today because we got some news in baseball. Playoffs started in baseball yesterday. They always talk about October being the greatest time of year. Playoffs start in September. Come on, baseball, get your stuff together. We have played 2 games of the wild card series. Some teams have only played one. No. One team is in the middle of their second game. Every other team has played 2 games. So right now we have in the American League, the Yankees taking on the Red Sox. The series is tied 1-1. Winner takes on the Blue Jays. So all in a nice little division right there. That's pretty fun when that happens. And then we have the number 3 Guardians taking on the number 6 Tigers. Again, that series is 1-1. Winner takes on the Mariners. And then in the National League, we have the number 4 Cubs going against the number 5 Padres. Winner takes on the number 1 seed, the Brewers. That's right, the Dodgers aren't the number 1 seed. They're the number 3 seed. They're playing right now. They're playing the number 6 seed Reds, and they're actively winning 3-2. They have a 1-0 series lead, so we'll see how if they're able to close out the series with a nice little sweep. Regardless of how they do it, if they move on, they take on the Phillies. So yes, baseball playoffs is underway, alive and very well right now because it just started. But here in a couple of weeks, it'll be like, man, I can't wait for this to be over. I won't pay attention to any of the weeks. Let's be honest here. Now going into the wonderful world of college football, we had upset week last week. Let me get just the top 25 because there's no way we're going to talk about every single. You know, the ESPN app needs to figure their stuff out because for some reason when I go to select up here at the top, I can click and select an individual league. Up there at the top says top 25. And when I go, that first thing that pops up, you can't see it. There we go. It's Sam Houston State, New Mexico State. In no world is Sam Houston State and New Mexico State in the top 25. It's still selecting the FBS 1A. ESPN, I've been having this issue all year. And now it's starting to cost me because I'm trying to do a show here and you're not letting me do my show. ESPN, you need to fix this. I'll figure it out. Again, we only talk about the ranked games because if we talked about every game, it'd be too long. We'd be here for a while. So a couple games happening on Friday. Arizona State upsetting TCU 27-24. Very close game. Very fun game. TCU is a great quarterback who just threw a couple of interceptions he wasn't supposed to. I'm very excited for the Horned Frogs' future. Another exciting game, Virginia and Florida State. That game went to double overtime. Virginia getting the win 46-38. I would say probably the best. I can't even think of the name when the crowd just takes over. I'm so upset with ESPN right now. Whenever the crowd takes over the field after an upset, probably one of the best we'll ever see because Virginia doesn't have an actual student section. They stand at one end of the end zone. And it legit looked like they trampled the Florida State receiver to death. Like instantly, they just swarmed the field. It was crazy. Then we had Washington State. Wow. Ohio State beating Washington 24-6. Oregon and Penn State. That was a ranked versus ranked, 3 versus 6. Oregon getting the win 30-24 in double overtime. Ole Miss beating LSU the 13-4, 24-19. Alabama beat Georgia 17-5, 24-21. So some good upsets this week. Texas A&M beat Auburn 16-10. Indiana beat Iowa 20-15. Iowa State beat Arizona 39-14. Tennessee beat Mississippi State 41-34 in overtime. Georgia Tech beat Wake Forest 30-29 in overtime. That was looking like it was going to be an upset. Wake Forest ahead for most of the game. Georgia Tech able to come back towards the end. Vanderbilt beat Utah State 55-35. Vanderbilt's ranked. Like, ESPN's app isn't working. Vanderbilt's ranked. What is this world coming to? Vanderbilt, for the longest time, has just sucked. And like last year, they beat Alabama, which is something they hadn't done ever. And now they're ranked, which is something they haven't done in like ever. It's crazy. Missouri beat UMass 42-6. Another ranked versus ranked, number 21 USC taking on number 23 Illinois. Illinois getting the win 34-32. Notre Dame beating Arkansas 56-13. BYU beat Colorado 24-21. Hilarious controversy there. Colorado getting fined like $50,000 for yelling obscenities about the Mormon religion. Gotta love college football. And I believe that's it for ranked versus ranked as I scroll down this list, because I kid you not, these are the games. You can't see it because of the glare, but like, it's still scrolling. It stopped scrolling. Now, as we move on to rankings, I don't even know if it's going to show me the actual top 25. It looks like it will. So we have some movement, but still at number 1 is Ohio State. Oregon has moved up to number 2. Miami is at 3. Ole Miss is at 4. OU is at 5. Texas A&M is at 6. Penn State did drop to 7. Indiana is at 8. Texas is at 9. Alabama is at 10. Texas Tech is at 11. Last time they were ranked this high was the Michael Crabtree, Graham Harrell years, which best catch in college football history. Georgia dropped down to 12th. LSU dropped down to 13th. Iowa State's at 14. Tennessee's at 15. Vanderbilt's at 16. Georgia Tech did drop to 17. Florida State dropped to 18. Missouri's at 19. Michigan dropped to 20. Notre Dame's at 21. Illinois is at 22. BYU's at 23. And then Virginia and ASU both becoming ranked after not being ranked last week. Virginia's at 24. Arizona State's at 25. USC and TCU, unfortunately, have fallen off the ranked ladder. I don't know what you would call it, the mountain, as Nick Wright would say. Mahomes Mountain. This is the college football top 25 mountain. They're off the mountain, at least for the time being. And then we do have an exciting week 6 in football. Thursday, Sam Houston State's taking on New Mexico State. That's the only unranked that I'm going to talk about, hopefully. We do also have on Friday, BYU is taking on West Virginia. And then on Saturday, Georgia is taking on Kentucky. Iowa State's taking on Cincinnati. Michigan's taking on Wisconsin. Illinois is taking on Purdue. Penn State's taking on UCLA. Texas is taking on Florida. We do have an exciting game as far as 2 ranked teams going. Vanderbilt and Alabama are taking each other on in Tuscaloosa. Notre Dame's taking on Boise State. Virginia's taking on Louisville. Oklahoma's taking on Kent State. Texas Tech is taking on Houston. Ohio State's taking on Minnesota. Ranked versus ranked, number 3, Miami is traveling to, I believe they play in Tallahassee, to take on number 18, Florida State. Winner of that game, huge implications for the ACC Conference Championship. Texas A&M is taking on Mississippi State. And I think that's it for ranked teams. And if not, I'm sorry I missed them because I'm not scrolling through this long list again. Now we move on to the NFL. I messed up on the video. It's the week 4 recap, not the week 3 recap. Y'all might be confused. I'm going to fix that right now because that's actually going to drive me insane. It's the week 4 recap, guys. We had a pretty crazy game Thursday night. The Seahawks traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Seahawks barely get the victory, 23-20. Led for most of the game. Arizona came back, tied it up at the end, but left too much time on the clock. Seattle able to march it halfway down the field and kick a game-winning field goal. We had the Dublin game, the Steelers beating the Vikings 24-21. This one was weird because it wasn't close, but then it got close. Steelers took a commanding lead. Were in charge for most of the game. Minnesota did come back and they were really knocking at the door for a full comeback and win right towards the end, but just unfortunately started a little too late. We have our American games. The Eagles beat the Buccaneers 31-25. Obviously, I found this one exciting because that's my team. Philadelphia really hit them hard in the first half. Let them come back in the second half, but kept it out of reach for the entirety of it. Even though Jalen Hurts, no completed passes in the second half. Then we had the Giants, Jackson Dart Magic getting their first win, handing the Chargers their first loss. Giants win 21-18. Also getting their first win, the Texans, they beat the Titans 26-0. Falcons beat the Commanders 34-27. Bills remain undefeated 31-19 over the Saints. Lions beat the Browns 34-10. Patriots beat the Panthers 42-13. Jaguars beat the 49ers 26-21. Rams beat the Colts 27-20. Chiefs beat the Ravens 37-20. Bears beat the Raiders 25-24. Probably the funniest coming back from half speech or interview is when I don't remember her name, but when she's interviewing Ben Johnson, she's like, you had a really bad first half. He's like, yeah, thanks for telling me that.
DD Kinkwala.
Yes. Thank you, Tato. And then that Sunday night game, the Packers and Cowboys. I have a huge rant about this game. I will probably save it for here in a second. And then it ended a tie, 40-40 tie. Only good thing I will say about the game is scoregami. A 40-40 tie has never happened until Sunday night. Should it have happened? Absolutely not, but it did happen. And then Monday Night Football. I really enjoyed the Dolphins-Jets game, mainly because I didn't have to listen to Joe Buck. I 100% listened to that game just because it wasn't the Joe Buck game. Dolphins did get the win 27-21. Rest in peace, Tyreek Hill's knee. If you know, you know. And then the last game, the Broncos beating the Bengals 28-3. Highlight of that game, the Broncos rushed 3 players. The Bengals had 5 offensive linemen. I think they had a tight end too, because they had 4 block 1 person, and then the 2 ends were able to just run around the tackles and sack Jake Browning. It was great. But that was week 4. You've already heard him talk once. We will see him here in a second. We're going to go ahead and bring in our regular Jake Tato. Tato, how's it going?
Hey, doing fantastic. Life is going good. 3 weeks in a row with no Chicago Bears losses guaranteed on the board right now. I am always happy in that situation. Some people may say that the win was ugly and not deserved at all in any capacity. I say it was gritty. It was a tough win. It was a character win.
That's true. That is true. Hey, at least you're able to complete passes in the second half. I will say if you want to look at an ugly win, I would give you 4 Philadelphia Eagles wins as ugly wins. But hey, you play to win the game. It doesn't matter how you win, just as long as you win. Can we talk about the Sunday night game though?
Let's discuss it.
First off, I just want to say Romeo Doubs looks hideous with that Guardian cap. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he has no care about a concussion at all. He's strictly wearing it so he sticks out. So he is the first person Jordan Love sees when he's throwing the ball. So I guess it's like a mental hint or a mental advantage that he gets thrown the ball first. Because it looks so weird just seeing him with just a huge bobblehead when it's actually
He's
supposed
Romeo
to.
Dobbs younger than Big Head Sheet in Madden 02. I think he
Ugh.
must be.
I barely. But no, I will say I don't know how a team. I will say the only thing I am upset with is the last minute and a half of that game. Um, the Packers are in prime position to score a touchdown, which would win the game, and they're like, "No, we're just gonna run the timeout. Let the kick a field goal. Like, where's the winning edge here?" I seriously hope that tie costs them the division, and I hope that it costs them a playoff spot. It's probably not going to cost them a playoff spot. Let's be honest here, but there was like no winning mentality going on the last couple minutes.
You know what it is?
What is it?
It's Matt Eberflus. He sucks the soul of any competitive. Like, if he's in the building, there is not going to be any competitive edge at the end. There's no rush. There's no, yeah. He doesn't even have to be the one coaching that team, just his existence.
Yes, I'll give you that. I see it now. But hey, on the bright side, Micah Parsons did get a sack, even though he technically tackled Dak at the line of scrimmage. Dak's reaction afterwards in the press conferences was hysterical. When they're like, "No, that counted as a sack." I'm like, but did it though? Did it? Yeah, it did. He did technically get a sack. It was a game-saving sack because they don't know how to manage the last couple minutes of a game. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Tato, any other thoughts about this previous week that you want to mention?
Yeah, it's a rough one for Tyreek Hill. A rough one in fantasy when you score the second most points in the league, yet your opponent scores the most. It's the fucking way she goes, boys.
That's always the worst. I don't think I've ever had that happen, but I have definitely had happen where I had the third most and the person I played scored the most. Not talking about fantasy because this isn't a fantasy show. That's next year where we will bring in fantasy football. I do want to bring in our predictions from last week. It was me, you, Brendan Cohen, and I also threw Jay in there. Me, you, and Brandon all finished with the exact same record, 9-7. The really fun thing was we had the exact same picks from the Rams games down. But no, all three of us finished at 9-7, which means Brandon finished his week at a 56% accuracy, landing him third on the list of the celebrity guest pickers. Jay, because I did throw him in there, I'm counting him as another celebrity guest picker. So Jay's on the board twice now. I haven't decided if I'm going to take away week 2, and this is his defensible week. But after I tell you his record, it's not going to happen. Jay finished at 7-9. Famously, he called for a tie. It was just the wrong game.
I was thinking about going to look back on which game he called the tie for because I was going to be like, Jay, you mad fucking genius, dog, but did not go. Fair enough.
No, it was the Jets-Dolphins game that he called the tie on.
I knew it was one of the primetime ones.
Yep. But no, he had a record of 7-9, putting him at a 44% accuracy. But no, I mean, these are some bold picks. Obviously, he picked the tie. He picked the Raiders. He picked the Titans to win. Tato, I'm proud of you, though. You picked the Eagles to win when no one else would. And they did win. But this brings our overall records. You're still in the lead at 41-23. I am just behind at 37-27. So let's in a row. Let's see if I can regain that lead that I had last year. But first, let me introduce our celebrity guest picker. You have seen this person a couple times, mainly on game night with Papa, because that's really the only time she ever comes in. Did I do it? Yeah, I did it. Our celebrity guest picker for this week is my beautiful wife, Mrs. Papa, Kayla West. I'll call her Babe for most of this video. Babe, how's it going?
It's going.
Right now she's coloring a bat. So I see where I fall on this list.
I am coloring a bat, and it's a cute bat.
Anything you want to talk about of the previous week? Can you attest to my reaction at the end of that game? You were fall asleep afterwards. I verbally yelled at my TV. I was so mad at that Packers-Cowboys game. But it does not matter. It does not matter. The past can't hurt us anymore. We must move on to the future. Tato, are you ready to predict some games?
Yes, sir, I am.
Babe, are you ready to predict some games?
Sure.
Well, then let's go. It doesn't matter if I'm right or not. I predicted these earlier today. So first, we have our Thursday night football game. The 49ers are traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. Rams are 7.5-point favorites. That has actually moved to 8.5 since the time I wrote it down. But we're going based off of what I wrote down. 7.5-point favorites. Brock Purdy, Juwan Johnson, Ricky Pearsall, probably 10 more 49ers players are not going to be available to play tomorrow night. Does that affect who I'm picking to win? Absolutely not, because there's no way that a Brock Purdy-led team beats the Rams to begin with. I have the Rams. Puka has been unbelievable. Stafford has been unbelievable. So give me the Rams. Tato, who are you going with?
Yeah, having spent some time in San Francisco and Los Angeles, I am now an expert on both of these teams, and I will take the Rams as well.
All right, Tato going with the Rams. Kayla, who are you picking?
The Rams.
You're picking the Rams?
Mm-hmm.
Tim would be so happy. That's his favorite team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we are traveling to London as the Vikings, who were in Ireland last week, probably stayed. That's what I would have done if I was their coach or GM or whatever. The Vikings are taking on the Cleveland Browns. Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. Tato, we're going to you first. Who's your pick?
Yeah, what kind of fuck-ass NFC North team would lose to the Browns? I'll take the Vikings.
Definitely not a good a team that can't even beat the Cowboys, I bet. Even if they had the ball on the 25-yard line in prime winning condition. Who's your pick?
Vikings.
You're going to pick the Vikings also?
Yeah.
Beth would be so happy. Well, I say that tiny little Beth, who made predictions based on the helmets, would be a fan because she really liked the helmets when they were because they were purple. Mm-hmm. I am also going to be sticking with the Vikings. I think this will be closer. Myles Garrett is going to be a nuisance for Carson Wentz. But again, I think he has some weapons. Also, this is Dylan Gabriel's first career start, so there might be some magic there. But he has to travel, so there will be no magic. I have the Vikings as well. Next, we move on.
The Vikings have not won a Super Bowl since they started wearing purple.
Interesting. They haven't won a Super Bowl at all, so.
And they've always worn purple.
Exactly. Next we move to the 1 o'clock games. The first one we have is the Broncos are traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. Also, little fun fact, Kayla and I were originally planning on getting married in October of this year. We got married a little bit sooner, but we were going to honeymoon in Philadelphia and try to catch a game. This would have been the game we would have watched. Fun fact there. So babe, since you are technically an Eagles fan, I'll let you go first. Who is your pick and why?
The Eagles.
The Eagles. You're not going to tell me why?
Nope.
Okay.
Because it's just the Eagles. No explanation needed.
I'll give you that. I will go next. We've heard all this commotion with A.J. Brown, and I hate to say that this is going to be another week where A.J. Brown hardly does anything, mainly because he is going up against Patrick Surtain, the best cornerback in football right now. but it doesn't matter because we have some weapons. I will say Dallas Goedert is listed as questionable right now. So if he is not able to play, I'm going to change my pick. I'm not actually changing my pick. I will want to. He better play because if he does, we win. I have the Eagles winning also because it's in Philly. Tato, what is your pick on this one?
Yep, I got the same reaction as Rich Eisen there. Oh, there's AJ Brown drama again. Yawn. Again, there's the Eagles are winning. No,
I do kind of miss.
No.
I do kind of miss when we just like read books on the sideline. Can we go back to books on the sideline, AJ Brown? Because I'm all for that.
Right.
Next we have the Texans traveling to Baltimore to
Eagles.
Eagles. You did say Eagles.
Okay.
Next we have the Texans traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Texans are 1.5 point favorites. And I will say I wrote down the Ravens. And then I remembered Lamar Jackson currently have with the hamstring injury is listed as questionable, but sources say he's probably going to miss a couple weeks with this hamstring injury. Because of that, I think the smart move, let Cooper play. And if Cooper plays, I have the Texans here. So I'm going to go with the Texans. Tato, what is your pick on this one?
I'm still going to take Baltimore to get her fucking gritty win at home. This
Sounds
one doesn't
good.
feel optimal, but
Yeah, I'll give you that. Babe, what about you?
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
You are going to go with the Ravens. All right. Next, we have the Giants are traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. We saw the Jackson Dart magic. Unfortunately, Spencer Rattler has the rabbit and not the rabbit foot. But we'll see. They're favorites. Can the Saints pull it out? Maybe I'm going to go to you first.
I'm going to say the Giants.
Going with the Giants. I will go next. Definitely huge loss losing Malik Neighbors, but I do like some of the weapons they have with Slayton and Wandell Robinson. And how can you not like Cam Scatterbo? He's probably going to retire in 2 years because of all this head injuries. I guess he's trying to beat Tua for more concussions in less the amount of time, or before Tua gets another concussion. Because watching him is both the best and worst thing ever. But I'm going to go with the Giants. Tato, what is your pick?
Yeah, I got the Giants as well here in this toilet bowl.
This isn't the toilet bowl. The toilet bowl is a little bit later on. It's close, though. All right, next we have the Cowboys traveling to New York to take on the Jets. Cowboys are 2.5 point favorites. I'm going to go first on this one. Call me crazy. Just call me crazy.
Crazy.
I know, I'm so crazy. I think the Jets pull this one out. I gave them the win whenever I was doing the full-on bracket. I think Aaron Glenn gets to him this week. They've been playing close. And I think the Giants, wow, I think the Cowboys are going to be that team that has a great game one week, and then the very next week plays like dog water. That was the last 3 weeks at least. So give me a dog water game this week. I want the Jets to barely pull it out. Tato, what do you say?
I will take the Cowboys.
That is smart.
And Kayla, what's your pick?
I got the Cowboys.
You have the Cowboys also.
I know they're your least favorite in the whole wide world, but
No, the Patriots still exist.
not true.
Tom Brady still exists.
True.
Hey, I wanna beat Tato. I gotta make bold decisions. Next, we have the Raiders traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Colts are 6.5 point favorites. Tato, who is your pick on this one?
Colts by the Lego Spencer Schrader.
And Kayla, who's your pick?
The Colts.
Going with the Colts also. Well, I will, when in doubt, 3 it out, I guess. I will also join you in the sentiment of the Colts. 2 really bad plays away from being undefeated. AD, what's his name? I think it's AD Smith, rookie from Texas. Doesn't play this week, and because of that, they win. I have the Colts. I think it's going to be more than a leg of Schrader, but I think you just picked him up in fantasy. That's why you want him to be the savior of the team. I think they win by a little more than a field goal, personally. Next, we have the Dolphins are traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Dolphins are 3.5-point favorites. Again, like we said, though, they are without Tyreek Hill, who is out for the rest of the season. Kayla, who's your pick on this one?
The Dolphins.
You're going to go with the Dolphins. All right. I still want the Panthers to be relevant. I want them to be good. They're still my pick to win the NFC South. I really hope this is where they turn it around. And doesn't mean halfway through the third quarter, they look at Bryce Young and be like, kid, you got to sit down. Andy, get your butt out here. That's probably what it's going to have to take. I think the Panthers get this win. Tato, what about you?
Give me Miami.
I will give you Miami. All right. Next, we have the Buccaneers traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites. This is the first 4 o'clock game. 4:05 to be exact is when kickoff is. I think I'm going first on this one. I think so. I'm just going to go first just because. This is another one where I went back and forth. I wrote one team down. I marked them out and wrote down the other team. And I'm sticking with that other team. The team that I wrote down and I'm sticking with is the Buccaneers. I think the Seahawks will have been playing good, have not been playing great, and have let teams come back. And Tampa Bay has shown, you let us come back, we will win. Except for that one time we played Philadelphia. I have the Buccaneers. Tato, who's your pick?
I keep sleeping on the Seahawks. I keep fucking Sam Darnold's like 18-3 in his last 20 games or some shit. I got to go with the Seahawks here. I've been sleeping on them too long, so now I will probably curse them by picking them.
I hope you do. And Kayla, who's your pick?
I vote that the Pirates take down the Beach Chickens.
Bitch pigeon!
I said beach chickens. Chickens.
She also called them the Pirates.
Yeah.
This isn't a Pittsburgh baseball team, babe.
No. The Buccaneers.
Steve, the pirate.
Steve the pirate. You know, scurvy. Wait, there's a guy on this team dressed as a pirate? All right. Next on our 4:05 games, we have the Tennessee Titans traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals are 7.5-point favorites, looking to redeem themselves from 2 losses. The Titans trying to get that first win. Do they get it today? Not today. Sunday. Tato, who's your pick?
Cardinals. Go Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay. All right. And Kayla, who's your pick?
I have the Cardinals.
You have the Cardinals also.
Sure do.
Well, then I will join your sentiment as the only person who has picked differently on anything. But I also have the Cardinals pulling this one out. I just like that defense. And they have moxie, whereas the Tennessee Titans don't. I'm not going to repeat what Cam Ward said last week. Next, we move on to the 4:25 games. The Commanders taking on the Chargers. Kayla, who's your pick on this one?
The Chargers.
You are going with the Chargers. I will go next. Jaden Daniels has been medically cleared to start playing with that team or practicing. He practiced today. Does that mean he plays? I hope so. And Joe Alt, I don't know if he's going to play. And that offensive line for the Chargers is pretty beat up right now. I think the Commanders pull it off. Tato, what's your pick?
Now, once again, since I lived in Compton for several years, I will pick the Chargers.
All right, next we have the Lions traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Lions are 10.5-point favorites. I will go first on this one. I have the Lions, and I have Jake Browning lying on the ground longer than he is standing upright. Tato,
lying on the ground?
Yeah, he will be lying on the ground with a lion on top of him, probably. Tato, who is your pick?
97. Yes, I will also take Detroit.
All right, and Kayla, who is your pick?
Detroit.
All right, next we have our Sunday night football game. The Patriots traveling to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo has won a lot straight against the Patriots, especially at home. They have owned this division, which is hysterical because a while ago it was the Patriots who were owning this division. But Tato, I'm going to have you go first on this one. Who is your pick?
I will take the Bills of Buffalo.
All right, going with the Bills. Kayla, who is your pick?
Screw the Pats. I'll take the Bills.
That's why I love you. I will also be going with the Bills. Ed Oliver hopefully is coming back. That defense has been needing him. I said it last week. It's actually going to be this week, hopefully. I have the Bills. Next, we have Monday Night Football. The Chiefs are taking on the Jaguars. Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. Who's your pick, babe?
I'll take the Chiefs.
Going with the Chiefs. Tato, I'm going to have you go next.
Yep, Chiefs. Are Kayla and I perfectly symmetrical?
No, you picked the Seahawks. She picked the Buccaneers. Other than that, y'all have gone exactly the same. And just like most of this week, the two of you are picking the same. And I am going to go with Duval. I have the Jags. Look at me as I say this, Tato. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs might actually win the division still. The Chargers, I don't think are going to be able to finish this season as good as they started it. But I do think the Jaguars get the win here, defend their home turf, and just make Patrick Mahomes look silly. He'll still probably have a great game. Let's be honest here. Travis Hunter's benched for the second half on defense. We'll see if he can do anything on offense. We'll see if anybody, except for Travis Etienne, can do anything for the Jaguars offense. But hey, that's been our picks. This is a short week, only 14 games instead of the normal 16. So you had less games to pick, which means you hopefully get less wrong than everybody else, which hopefully means you have a better winning percentage than everybody else. Because I want to share an oatmeal cream pie with you and Tato and nobody else. Thank you for that. But hey, thank you so much for watching. Throw in the chat who you think's going to win the baseball playoffs, because we talk about baseball too. And if you like energy drinks, scan that QR code, w.gg. You get this will automatically throw the coupon code Papa TMG in there to get you 10% off your order. And if you like live streams, there's also a link in the description to try out StreamYard. You can get like $25 off your first month because it's worth it. You got to pay for StreamYard. It's the best. But hey, make smart choices or don't, because I do not care. I am not your dad. But I could be your papa.